Welcome back to Accelerate the Great. I'm your host, Nehemiah Davis, and today I want to talk about like a huge shift that I had that I wanted to share with you because I believe it's going to be beneficial to you, and I also believe it's going to somehow help you, right? And that is literally removing the scarcity mindset from your mentality. And again, this isn't something that you're probably going to be able to do overnight. This isn't something you're going to be able to do in a drop of a dime. But I want you to start really switching how you're thinking. And the problem that so many of us have is we're always looking at something as this: what is it going to cost us, right? How much is it going to cost? Like, why should I do this? And these are things that can better yourself, right? And I'm going to give you guys a couple examples, kind of case studies, and kind of break it down. So as you guys know, and American Express isn't paying me for this, and I believe they should, right? But as you guys know, I always talk about, like, I don't always talk about it, but I talk about my American Express Platinum card in particular. I probably got about 5 or 6 American Express cards, from the Gold to the Platinum to the Business Plus to I have a bunch of them, and a bunch of other cards. And prior to me having a proper mindset in place, I would see the annual fee, the $550 fee, and be like, nah, I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get that car because it's going to cost me $550 extra to get it, right? And that's a scarce mindset, right? That's a mindset of lack. That's a mindset of, why would I do this? It don't make sense. Without doing the proper research. So then I said, hey, let me actually do the research and see, why would I get this car, and why is that $550 fee there, and how can I actually make money from that $550 fee? So let me break this down to you guys very quick, and hopefully this will be helpful for you. So I'm going to break it down from the premise of that I paid the $550 fee, and how that $550 fee has since become irrelevant to me, and it doesn't make a difference to me at all, and I would pay it over and over again. So a couple benefits for me having my American Express card. So instead of me utilizing the scarce mindset of saying, yo, why would I pay $550? This don't make sense for me to do this. I started saying, what is the benefits of me getting this card, and why? So I ended up getting the card. Number one, first thing is, you're not charged the $550 annual fee until 60 days after you get the card. Within the moments that you get the card, guess what? You're connecting your Uber. You get $200 worth of free Uber a year. So guess what? Every single month, they're recharging my Uber account with $15 free, right? You get $200 of airplane credit. So you can choose whatever airline that you fly on the most, and you get $200. So guess what? Most people are going out of town. They're paying for extra bags. You can take that $200 and you can apply it to food. You can apply it to your bags. You can literally use it. So now we're talking about $400 in savings, right? I don't shop anymore, but one of the other benefits that you have is the Saks Fifth Avenue $100. You get $50 at the beginning of the year, between January and June, and you get another $50 between July and December in January. So with that $100, guess what? I can spend it. I can get two $50 gift cards, or I can go inside Saks and buy something for myself. So now we're at $500, right? Next, something called global entry. And the reason why this is important and key, wealthy people value their time. A lot of people are like, yo, why do wealthy people fly on private jets? Why do wealthy people fly on private jets? It's not, the cost becomes irrelevant because they don't have time to go spend 3-4 hours in the airport. Beyonce, a Jay-Z, a Bill Gates, they don't got time to get to the gate 2 hours before. They don't got time to go through security. The amount of money they make in an hour, it doesn't equate for them to spend 3-4 hours going to the airport prior to. This is why they fly private. So for example, I use global entry as like a more low, is low. Of course, it's not flying private, but it is you saving time. So with your card, you can literally go apply for global entry, which is $100, which you swipe with your card, and then they reimburse you for the money before you even owe the money. You don't have to pay. And what global entry ends up giving you is this. People think like, how's Neo doing this? I'm sitting here, I'm telling you how I'm doing it, right? So what global entry ends up doing is, for $100, you are now able to travel, right? And let me actually see if I have my global entry card with me, right? For $100, So for $100, and here's my global entry card right here. I'm not going to show y'all everything, but y'all could kind of see it. It says global entry on the top. But now what does my card do? It gives me access to be able to travel back into the country and not wait in line. You know how many times I travel and my layovers in Miami, we land in Miami, we got to wait in line for 1 to 2 hours going through customs? Not anymore. Well, it's been years since I've done that, but I get off the airplane. I'm literally out of the airport within 5 minutes of me getting off the airplane because I don't have to wait in line, because most people won't spend $100, or most people just isn't educated on the process of global entry. So we're in and out of the airport immediately. And for those who don't have it, here's another little hack that you guys can do. It's called mobile pass or something mobile pass that you can also use for people who don't have global entry. So in addition to me having this $100 spent, now guess what else I get, y'all? I get TSA pre-check. So now every time I go to the airport, guess what, y'all? I get to the airport an hour before my plane leave every time. Most times 45 minutes, because I don't have to wait in line. I go through the TSA pre-check line. I'm out of that line. I don't have to take my shoes off. I don't got to take my laptop out my bag. And literally there's no one in this line because most people don't have TSA pre-check. So I'm through security in a minute, and I'm at my gate, and then I still have time to spare. So again, for me, my time, my hours are worth money to me. Everything that I do, it comes at a high cost. So I don't want to spend an extra hour, 2-3 hours traveling if I don't necessarily have to. So again, this $100 that you're spending from getting that card literally saves you a lot of time. And then it gives you something else, which is key. And this is called Priority Pass. And what Priority Pass does is it gets you access to 1,100 lounges around the entire world. So me, I travel with my videographer, right? I travel with my photographer sometimes. I travel with like my friends and my peers. And a lot of us have Amex Platinum. So when we go to these lounges, guess what? Our whole team comes in the lounge with us. They're eating food. I don't drink, but you're getting drinks. And now, guess what? Every time I'm traveling with my family, we're in these lounges, I'm paying $0. When you're in the airport, everybody's meal is $20 to $30 each. I'm not spending any money. Do the calculations. I travel 1 to 2 times a month. I'm in 2 to 4 airports a month. I got to eat all the time. How much money am I saving over the course of the year by being able to go and eat in these lounges for free for literally for $100? Are you kidding me? In addition to that, let's take it a step further. I even get to go to the American Express Lounge. When I go to the American Express Lounge, guess what happens? I'm getting manicures. I'm getting back massages. They got top shelf liquor. It's everything that you need. And guess what? It's just a different type of level when you go in there and you pulling out your Amex Platinum card. They wondering like, who is this guy? What do we do? It also increases your perceived value. So for me, when I start switching my mindset from the $550 mindset on that scarce mindset, I'm like, man, the $550, that's irrelevant. And I just talked about some of the perks. It's irrelevant. Also, I can call American Express, tell them I'm going to Europe for a month. I need them to plan my whole itinerary for my whole itinerary for me. I want to do this. 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 Plan it for me. Get back to me. You know how much time, energy, and effort it takes for you to plan a darn trip with a dozen people who all want to do all these different things? I just call them, tell them, hey, plan this for me. Tell me where we need to be. Tell me how much each of these things cost. So now I pick myself up an assistant for free, right? All right, let's keep it going out of scarce mindset. A lot of people are this, right? A lot of people are this, right? They're like, yo, how much does it cost to join this? How much does it cost to join that? How much does it cost to join this? How much does it cost to join that, right? That's what a lot of people will say, right? And what I begin to start saying, yo, how much is it going to cost me if I don't do this? How many opportunities are going to miss if I don't, right? So for me, in the last 2 years now, I spent $60,000 on my self-education. I've been learning so many different things. I've been investing in myself, and I'm doing all of these things because I understand you don't know what you don't know. And the amount of money I've lost in the last several years for not knowing, for not being educated in the process, I'm like, yo, I can't allow that to happen. So now I'm investing my money. I'm spending my money because I'm looking to get the slight edge. I'm looking to try to improve. But I realize the people with the scarcity mindset oftentimes they stay exactly where they are because they're not willing to try anything new, because everything appears to them as a cost versus a benefit. So now I try to make beneficial activities, like beneficial decisions. I don't look at things that cost anymore. I'm like, what will happen if I do this, right? So let's say this. Let's say right now in your revenue, you're making $2,000 a month, and your goal is to make $10,000 a month. But you know you may need some mentorship. You may need to go to this particular school, take this class. You know you may need something, but you decide not to do it. So it is costing you $8,000 a month, and you decide to put this off for a year straight. That $8,000 a month turns to be $96,000 that you lost because you saw it as it's gonna cost me this, right? So the premise of this episode is simple. I need you to start changing the way you're viewing things. I need you to start looking out of a different lens. I need you to start looking out of the lens of prosperity, looking out of the lens of opportunity, looking out of the lens of how this can help me, looking out of the lens of how this can help me grow, how this can help me win, how this can help me get to the next level. And start asking yourself, instead of what it costs, how can you get it? How can you put yourself in position to be able to afford it? Like, if I do this, will this be beneficial for me? Like, start looking at the pros of everything that you do, and I believe that's going to be very helpful. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Accelerate the Great. Let's go.